That was Baby Shambles Delivery. You're listening to BBC Radio 2, which I believe is from the BBC. I'm Russell Brand. I'm here with Matt Morgan. We are absolutely effing live. If we weren't live, that would have probably been effing well cut out. How you going, Matt? All right?
I'm very well.
You're thin or something, aren't you?
Bit thinner.
Why are you so thin for?
Well, I didn't drink any booze for 2 weeks.
Why?
Because I just thought, you know...
Because it destroys people's lives.
No.
Fair enough. Mr. G is here. He is the poet laureate of the show. Hello, Mr. G.
All right.
Yeah, I'm all right. It's weird being on my own radio show. I've been doing, like, promoting my bookie book, as it is brilliantly entitled. And so I've been on, like, loads of other people's shows. Christian O'Connell,
More
Chris
professional,
Moores,
I imagine.
A hell of a lot more. I'll tell you what you'll notice about other people's radio shows. Here's a few things. They play records on them. Like I know. It's not just people like just talking about whatever they feel like in that second without so much as a split second's research or preparation for the show.
Have you picked up any actual tips?
Not really, mate. No, I'll tell you what I did like being on. Jamie Theakston and Harriet. Like, have you ever heard that? That's on Heart.
No, I haven't actually.
Harriet's sexy, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah, she is. And Jamie Theakston's nice. You want to give him a cuddle.
I've met him once. I think seemed to be... He's really tall, isn't he?
Ever such a great, big, long
Taller than
fella.
you, is he?
Yeah, he is. You want to give him a good squidgy cuddle. Chris Moyles, though, is like... I really like Chris Moyles. He's ever so nice to me, and that is why I'm now promoting Chris Moyles' books. Why not buy one of Chris Moyles' books?
What books?
I don't know. He writes books, doesn't he? Chris Moyles' Difficult Second Book. If you are one of, for example, the people that go on my beloved Russell Brand fan site forum, could you please... We've got a few missions for you today. This is going to be a hell of a show. There's quite a lot of missions. We want you... Here's a few things. I'll go on about it a bit more because sometimes Matt advises me against stuff like this and see what he thinks. But like, say that, Russell, that dear Chris Moyles, Russell was saying ever such nice things about your book, so that he is about it, and then Chris Moyles will go, he's a man that's true to his word.
A manipulative man.
Do you think I'm like a snivelling little rat, man?
You'd probably hear of that. Someone will go, he's talking about you and telling his fans to email you.
Yeah, well...
It's not very genuine.
I'm not a very genuine person. I'm a bit...
Oh, God.
Oh, God, Christ. I am quite genuine, though. You should see me on these book tours being genuine. It'll blow your bloody socks off. G will tell you.
The book's pretty genuine, from what I've read.
Oh, it's pretty genuine. If it's a book you're after for a genuine book, it's a good book. You come across very well in it.
Yes.
Have you took the time to read some?
Actually. No, actually, I took the time to have some read to me by you.
Oh, yeah, I remember actually doing that. Yeah, well, you come across very nice. Sometimes... I got very lachrymose and tearful writing that book sometimes.
No, you didn't.
I did, mate, sat in Tuscany. Sometimes. Do you never do something like sit around thinking about what your own funeral will be like and go, oh, God bless me? Like, and get a bit sad about your own self. Like, I'd sit like, there'd be bits where I read about, like, for example, with Carl Theobald, my mate who's in Greenwing, a bit where, like, when I was thrown out of drama school, and I cried, right, when I got thrown out, and I goes, Carl's not very sort of, he's a bit like you, actually, Matt. He's like, it's the same star sign as you. It's the only thing that makes me think horoscopes might have some truth in it, because a lot of my friends are Leos, and they're sort of like all similar sort of types of men. I go like, Carl's not a very sort of a cuddly type of person, but he must have known I needed to be held up that day, because he put his arms around me. And when I sort of read it back to myself, I went, oh, like, nearly put on Don McLean's Vincent. In fact, I would like to hear that, you know, this world was never meant for one so beautiful was me.
Big head.
What? So what? I'm a bit like Van Gogh.
Why have you turned up wearing what can only be described as a smock and cowboy boots?
Well, that is because, Matthew, I'm designing a new look. It's called the Moroccan Cowboy Spectacular. I've been going, you should see me all week. I've been dressing up like a right mug.
You've worn that out in public?
I went to Chris Moyles' show with a thing that Luke Skywalker... Remember when Luke Skywalker turns up at Return of the Jedi to get Han Solo out of that big block of black ice he's in? I went to Chris Moyles dressed up pretty much like that. People seem to like it. Oh no, Jesus, it's like a Jawa, but it certainly is a certainly George Lucas
brown
fashion.
robe with a hood?
Black robe, hooded up. You know, just look. Yeah, I didn't wear the hood, but there is a hood.
You got trousers on?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't.
Your smock goes down to your knees.
I know that's all right, but still, a cowboy boots on bare legs. You know, that's a look I'm not ready for. Let's call up Noel Gallagher later as well. I've not spoken to him for absolutely ages. That lovely man. Here's an email. entitled Noel's a Thief. Hi Russ, Matt and Mr G. When you call Noel G tonight, ask him about the two old ladies who worked in the sweet shop at the top of Shawbrook Road. I used to go to the same sweet shop, but I think their profit margins went down when Noel paid him a visit because he is supposed to be a thief. This is not libellous because he admitted it in an interview. Anyway, those old ladies were weird. Love from Burnage Boy Vlad. What unusual.
Didn't he say he did an armed robbery on a newsagent's? And that's the truth about it.
What
He went in a
Noel
sweet shop with some old ladies.
I did an armed robbery. I was pretty tough. I'm pretty dangerous. He troubled some old women for some mojos.
Yeah.
That's the reality of Noel Gallagher's criminal history. If you want to text us, do 88291 or phone 0500 2888291. Matt, you've had braces fitted.
Yes, I have.
Why are you so vain?
Problem. Oh, that's not vanity. Well,
No?
it is, I suppose. You had braces.
You know, I had those Invisalign.
Well,
like-
I've got one tooth that's too far out of line to have invisible braces, so I've got fixed braces at 30.
Let's have a little look at your gnashers. Look at your Lady Diana. Look at your little mouth. Very uncomfortable and annoying, is it?
Hurtful. It's horrible.
Yeah, it can't be much fun.
Got ulcers. You can't chew properly. It's really bad because I didn't have braces when I was younger.
Yeah.
Foolish.
Silly boy, you'll get used to it. And also, Pin is catching on as a craze around the nation.
It's a violent assault.
It's a violent assault. Pin! Hello, Russell, Matt and G, says Grant. Feed Russell more ditch water. The podcast was top class last week. I've converted a few people in the office to the Revolution. #1 podcast on iTunes at the moment.
Again?
Keep downloading it. Keep doing it. I made an MP3 of the Pin story that Matt recited last week. It went down well. Now around the office there have been shouts of Pin, followed by a little scream or an ouch. I know you said not to do it, but the game of Pin is infectious in more ways than one. P.S. It's a sad day. Nana Moon has died. Please release your version of When I'm 64 as a tribute. All right, we will play that in honour of Nana Moon. Although she is actually a person, so let's not take the
She's
mickey.
died.
If she's not died in EastEnders, she's properly died actual Nana Moon.
Yeah.
Deepest respects, dear old Nana Moon. And as for Pin, well, I really like the phrase, but should people be stabbing each other with pins? That's the real question here.
Terrible thing.
It's dangerous.
Heroin addicts will say it before they shoot up now.
Pin, whee! Off we go. Yeah, well, as long as we can cheer up the world for poor, desperate heroin addicts, that's good. Chris Miles is a damn fine man. You might
Stop
want to read
saying
one
it.
of his books. Go buy one of his books.
Working
Tell
for
him.
him.
Right, the other thing, right, here's the two missions that I'd like people, because you know there's going to be a revolution. We're a devoted army that we're formulating now. More than ever, I've noticed on the book tour, people are properly up for the revolution, and they love it. People with revolution T-shirts. Someone did a mercy killing. China. Right, OK, I've just looked on Google Maps, right, just to see if I could see any Chinese army in Tibet. I see one whole Chinese army right in Tibet. Get right out of Tibet. Don't look back. Get out of there. Get right out of Tibet. Yeah, right, and the other thing I'd like you to do, if you are so inclined, if you're of a campaigning mentality, right, the Daily Mail wrote a story about me today.
Oh, I'm not this old.
What?
Again.
What do you mean? What?
When you get your flying monkeys in.
My precious... They're not flying monkeys. They're loyal revolutionaries. A glorious army. Right, what's her name again? Hold on. Here's this Daily Mail. I'll tell you what, though, Matt. They sent a journalist round my mum's house and scared her. When knocking on my mum's door, scared and upset my mum. Listen to this bit of it. Because you can't go around upsetting and scaring my mum and not have there be terrible moral consequences. Like, I'm not suggesting we go and smash up old...
Didn't you put your mum's address in the book?
Of course I did. Teach her a lesson. Sometimes I wanted more pocket money than I actually received. There's no way I'm going to put up with that sort of rhubarb and that Michael Iber. No, I didn't put my mum's address in the bookie book. No, I don't think so, mate. God, that would be ever so... Oh, actually, I did put Grey... Yeah, I didn't put the number, though. Oh, yeah, that was unwise. Damn. But thing is because it's called Gray's End Close, right? So I thought that was indicative of a terminal address, Gray's End Close. Sort of sounds morbid, so I made some brilliantly witty reference to it. And as a consequence, my poor mum's being hassled by a Daily Mail journalist. But hold on, let me find this story. I mean, there's some quite funny bits in it, because it makes me sound like a delightful eccentric, in so much as it goes that it says I've got few friends. I've got a lot of friends, haven't I, Matt?
Yeah.
You, G, the cat. That's good going, isn't it? For a man in his early 30s. Oh, come on, for heaven's sake. Here we are. Right, listen to this. Right, her name is, she works at the Daily Mail, loyal, not monkeys, revolutionaries is what we are. What we're going to do, remember, in a couple of years, I'm going to give away all my money, formulate a charity, we're going to buy an island or something, live there on a commune.
Who's we? Not me and you, and I'm not wearing that outfit.
You'll wear this costume, young man, or we'll not take those braces off.
That's what Village Idiots used to wear, those smocks.
Oh yeah, when Ronnie Barker
it's like Wee
played
Willie
the
Winky's jumper.
This schmuck is not a Village Idiot costume. Do I look like a Village Idiot? Yeah, Gene nodded then. Gee.
A village idiot who's broken into an aristocrat's home and stolen some stuff and then ran off giggling.
My lord, I found my way to your lingerie drawer. I took your wife's bra. Yeah, well, I think I look very sexy. Anyway, this person that I'd like you to not attack, because
Just
remember, the
ignore her.
revolution is loyal. I know.
The Daily Mail, they're not going to...
I know it's a silly paper. I know it is. I know it's a paper for people that, you know, don't agree with forward thinking. But anyway, she's like, it's only the fact that they sent a journalist around my mum's house and made my mum cry. Right, listen to the bit, like the bit where it says about my mum. Look, Mrs. Brand certainly
How
had...
did they make her cry? By reading parts of your book to her?
No, just by telling...
You're aware your son's done this?
Oh, no. What's wrong with him?
They probably consoled her.
No, but they didn't console her. They're the horrible Daily Mail. Listen to this bit. Mrs. Brand certainly had no idea what else was in the book. Oh, no, hold on a second. At times, Brand breaks into the chaotic narrative to exclaim just how awful he is. He seems terribly proud of what he has done. His tone throughout is one of simple-minded delight in showing off in his own bad behaviour. More than once, Brand has spoken about dreading what his mother, the most important woman in my life, that's me quoting me, will make of the story. Indeed, Barbara Brand seemed pretty shocked earlier this week when the Mail pointed out a story he tells in the book of being abused by a neighbour when he was giving him after-school tuition. Mrs. Brand certainly had no idea what else was in the book. I don't know anything about this. Nothing at all, she said. Shown the content, she put her hand over her mouth, saying repeatedly, "Oh my God, what has he done?" That's because they sort of ran up to the front door, kicked on it and went, "Look at that! Look at that!" to her. She went, she was frightened, the poor woman. Right, now this was written by Alison Boshoff. Boshoff?
Boshoff?
Yeah, nosh off, more like it, you filthy harlot. Alison Boshoff, that's Alison, then it's B-O-S-H off. Bosh off. I imagine there's probably an email address there.
That's a made-up name.
Yeah, it probably is a made-up name.
Alison Boshoff?
Boshoff?
Boshed off your book.
She's been boshing off my bookie work. Yeah, my book's been boshed off by a racist. And you can't say she's a racist, but don't write for the Daily Mail then, if you don't want people to think you're a racist. Alison Boshoff, yeah, so contact her at the Daily Mail, or alternatively, find out where she lives, go and knock on her door. That's what she seems to like doing. Find out where she lives, knock her right up. Why don't you go and bosh her right off? Russell Brand on his radio show. Right, and listen to the bit at the beginning. She's really coating me off. He's fawned on by his Radio 2 bosses, and his autobiography's been given star-leery billing by The Guardian. But open the covers and Russell Brand emerges as sleazy, sad, and consumed by self-obsession. Well, I can't query with that.
She's read it then,
No, but that's fair. It's a good, fair criticism there by Boshoff. Boshoff seems like she's been paid by us. A hero for our times, it says, but that doesn't sound ironic. Convinced he is irresistible, Russell Brand is holding court among 400 fans at a signing event at Waterstone's bookshop on Wednesday night. The comedian is very much in his element, posing for pictures, cracking stupid jokes and signing countless copies.
Comedian?
Yeah, but childishly finding humour in everyday life.
That's good for your fans.
Yeah. Posing for pictures, signing countless copies of his autobiography, because there were so many. That's good also. The publishers even have to turn people away, because it's so popular and successful. You daft cow, Boshoff. It is a triumphant moment for Brand, because he revels in attention of any sort, and has been determined that his autobiography should cause a sensation. It's nice, it's a very good little bookie book. But there's this, what was that other bit? This bit's quite interesting. She goes, blah, blah, blah. His lovers paint a rather different picture, because she's saying that I reckon I'm a sexy wild man, which Matt, you've known me quite a while. Have I ever claimed to be a sexy wild man?
Not in those words.
Why? What have I claimed? Oh, yeah, a sex shaman, I've claimed to be. Like that.
You told me you think you're extremely good in bed.
I do think I'm good. I can create magic. That's why. Like, only if the other person is as well. You can't sort of just go up to a table and, like, have it off with that. It needs to... Sex takes two, or possibly more, people all in tune with each other. You can't just... It's not like an Olympic sport, is it? You can't just be good at it on your own, I don't think. Like, you know...
What's this about you doing it and watching yourself in mirrors?
Well, Well, I sometimes like have a look in the mirror because
I'm really good at sex, actually, because I watch myself in the mirror.
and it's been brilliant. That's how I know I'm a sensitive lover because I look so sensitive when I'm staring past my sexual partner.
Combing my hair in the mirror. The woman had left after 10 minutes, but I carried on.
She didn't seem to mind. Well, she was in a taxi by this time, but I combed my hair into a very neat centre parting. I looked beautiful like a P.G. Woodhouse character. His lovers paint a rather different picture, and one which is considerably less glamorous. Without exception, they describe him as an oddball loner who pads around his Hampstead flat in a white dressing gown and slippers, talking only to his cat Morrissey. That's the only thing that's there.
God.
It was,
How do they get this information?
well, I do that, don't I?
I know.
But I love that cat, and everyone talks to their cat. You can't just ignore him. That's ignorant.
Pads around.
And I don't pad. Do I pad around?
Yeah.
What do you mean pad? Describe that bit further then.
It sounds like, well, pad to me means that you've got slippers on.
yeah.
And you just sort of don't want to commit fully to your walk.
To your next
so just
step.
Sort of slide a little bit.
Plopping along, meandering.
Hello, Morrissey.
I stride purposefully round my house
Yeah.
like a
And what's wrong with
pirate
a man?
king.
That's like going, oh, he's really loud and arrogant and horrible, and he's all quiet at home and talks to his cat.
What's that? That's not painting a picture of an arrogant, piratical sex maniac walking round in a dressing gown and slippers. Apparently he doesn't know what to do with a woman other than to sleep with her. Imogen Thomas, a former Big Brother contestant who had a 6-week affair with Bran, no she never, it was a briefest of flings, said he had lots of mirrors around his bed and was chiefly interested in his own reflection. Well, sometimes in a certain light I can look pretty damn tasty.
You haven't got lots of mirrors around your bed. You've
Not
got
now.
One mirror.
One mirror over there, and then there's the armoire, of course. Oh, it's a delightful bit of furniture. That's got some
Is that
mirrors
the
in
thing
it.
where the TV comes out of it?
Yeah, once you press the old switch, yep. And after the revolution, it's all going back. We're going to buy an island. We'll all live equally. I'm just showing off for a little while. I'll get over it, I promise. Then, yeah, listen to this. He only has a few friends. I got the impression he didn't like being on his own. He would talk to his cat like it was a real person. But a cat's not a pretend person, at any rate. Like real
How are you
person
meant
is
to talk to
tautologist.
it? If it, really, you shouldn't talk to a cat at all.
You shouldn't.
Well, no, I mean, doesn't. If you're going to talk to a cat, you can't talk to it as it's a cat. Then you are mad.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
got to talk to it like it's a little person.
Yeah, right. Well, to not talk to it in a cat language, because that is
Yeah,
bad.
imagine that. He meowed at his cat and believed that it understood him.
I understand its cat language, you know. And then, what it says here, another lover, student Hannah Gregory Soskin, said that Brand would say to Morrissey, have you had a nice night? Have you found any mice? I don't talk to you like that, like I'm a fairy tale wizard, chatting to him.
How's school, Morrissey?
Okay, well, I've heard some very negative reports back from Hogwarts, and if this continues, you can expect a kick in the nuts, my lad. She added that he slept in a gum shield to prevent him from grinding his teeth. That's not a gum shield, that was my teeth
That
aligners.
sounds like you sleep curled up in a huge gum shield.
In case Frank Bruno comes! if it protects the gums, why can't it protect my entire body? When she contacted him after their encounter, he sent her a text saying, I don't remember you, can you send a photo? Well, I might have done, but that's a very good system for remembering folk. I would only do that to make sure there's no embarrassing incidents. And anyway, I think I'm 25 days celibate now. Blah, blah,
You
blah.
think you are? Why? Would you sleepwalk or something?
Well, sometimes I'll make some crazy decisions in the land of Nod. What do you want to do? Listen to a record?
Yeah,
I
I
see you
think so.
pointed down at something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you want to listen to?
I want to listen to Safety Dance.
OK, but coming up, we've got some interesting things. You can phone us on 0500 288 291. You can email russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. Remember, we're campaigning to make Chris Moyles know that we've been lovely about him in his lovely book, so that, that duty is fulfilled.
Is this so he'll mention your book a lot on his show?
No, he's already done that, so I'm sort of paying him back kind of
Oh,
thing,
right,
because he was
okay.
dead nice while I was on this. And he goes, here, mention my book when you're doing a bit of publicity a day. But I was always in situations where I thought if I mentioned his book, like say you mentioned his book on Christian O'Connell's show, that's another breakfast show. So I thought, I didn't want to do it there. And then other situations I thought, hold on, I've got
it's
my
a
own
minefield,
show.
isn't
It's
it?
a bloody minefield. I went on Paul O'Grady. He's lovely. I could cuddle him to death. He's such a sweet, lovely man. He was kind about me. He
Yeah.
was. Did you watch it?
No.
Why don't you watch me on the telly?
How did I know that it was on? I don't tune into Paul O'Grady every day.
Why? It's good. At the end of it, he goes, go on, have it, enjoy your tea.
Have your tea, love.
I like that. He knows his audience are going to have their tea. What are our audience doing after this? Go on, you poor sick pigs. Go and have it off in a gutter. That's what we might as well say to our audience. Go and slither around like vibrant eels, you saucy bunch. I'll tell you who does this in this show. Jeremy Vine and his missus. Jeremy Vine and his wife. off, laying in bed, stiff and erect and all over each other, slithering around in a central.
Play a song.
All right, we're going to play a song called Safety Dance, Men Without Hats, which I dedicate to Jeremy Vine, who I believe is having unprotected sex with his wife even now. Jeremy Vine, Men Without Hats, we're playing this for you. Russell Primary 2. That was it Safety Dance, Men with Hats?
Safety Dance, Men Without Hats.
Fair enough.
Men with hats are their
Oh
enemies.
no, they're fierce rivals. We were talking about co-Radio 2 presenter Jeremy Vine, who is now joining us live from his bed with his wife between his pants. He will talk to us now. Hello there, Jeremy.
I wish it was that exciting, but I am in the same building as my wife.
You dirty devil. The way you live, Jeremy Vine. Despicable business, really. Thanks for listening to our show. It's very nice of you.
I'm really enjoying it, and I think Alison Boshoff will be enjoying it too.
Alison Boshoff, give us a nosh off, 'cause it's all you're fit for. Yeah. No, I'm only joking. As you know, I admire women as equals. Not Boshoff, though. She is, as I say, not even good enough for a nosh off. Her mouth is so full of bile and acid, it would decay amidst her horrid teeth. So,
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's, well, you know, send one of mine to the hospital. Guess where you're off to, Boshoff? Right. So, yes, Jeremy, just join in with the show, if you would. There's a new item we're doing called Gay. This is from Hannah. She's aged 18. Jeremy, would you mind helping? Hi, gorgeous Russell and the rest of you. This is for your wonderful item, Gay. I have a female friend who is bisexual. I have no problem with this. Oh, you're so broad-minded. As many of my friends are gay or bi. However, recently she told me she fancies me. I don't return these feelings. I told myself that it wouldn't be an issue and our friendship could continue as normal. However, I saw her recently after her confession and it felt awkward. I don't know if she found it awkward too, but I can't ask her. What shall I do? I don't want to ruin our friendship. I don't want it to be awkward. It's not helped by our mutual friends joking about it. Vive la revolution, help me. Hannah, 18. Well, Jeremy, you know, when you're not indulging in heterosexual sex with your wife, you're usually thinking for your brain box radio show.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon we should do on this new item?
I think it's a very tricky one, Russell, but I think with all these things, if it only happens once, if the awkward moment only happens once, you've got to blanket and move on. That would be my advice, because I think that often between people, I mean, you and I may have even had awkward moments, I can't remember, but...
Well, we've certainly had gay sex.
We haven't,
and
I
that's
can't
the root
remember
of them.
doing so, but I'll have to think back very carefully. But, you know, we haven't ever let it get in the way.
No, our friendship has carried on unencumbered by any awkward moments. OK, well, let's see what Matt Morgan thinks. What do you think she should do about these awkward moments?
It shouldn't be awkward. She should be flattered.
Right.
It doesn't matter who fancies you, they still fancy you.
It's nice to be fancied. But, Matthew, what if suddenly there was a sexual tension between you and I? What if I suddenly announced to you, oh, baby, it's a wild world?
And that's been written all over your face for years.
It don't bother you?
No.
It's not even awkward. So,
I just like to tease you.
So he's flexed himself like that, like he had a ball worker. You know, them spring things that get in your chest hairs. OK, so we're all pretty much saying to Hannah that she shouldn't let it get in the way of the friendship. Let me just, Jeremy, could I just put this in there?
I've got a question for you. I mustn't forget to ask it, but carry on, yeah?
All right, I'm saying, why don't they have it off with each other, see if that creates an awkward... Because I think most sex starts with an awkward moment. That moment before you kiss, that's beautifully awkward, isn't it? You're exhilarated in that moment.
I don't know, I just think that if she's not into it, it could become doubly awkward.
And
then
double awkward.
also these things, you can't then unwrite them and they go on forever, and, you know, they might get to a level that they weren't very comfortable with. So I think for her, just follow her instincts, try to forget it happened, keep listening to the radio, and move on.
Right, that's it. That is the end of that item. Gay. Thank you, Jeremy Vine. Jeremy, what is your question?
Well, my question was this. Today I went to the Science Museum and I took my little daughter Martha, and she's nearly 4.
Okay.
And she is a girl, and she's obviously our oldest child. Not obviously, but she is.
Nothing
and,
obvious
we got
about
to,
that.
She's the oldest.
No, he goes,
so,
Jeremy Vine, he could never possibly have a child older than 4, the way he carries on.
It's not obvious at all, but there we are. It's obvious to me because, you know, I'm a father. But the interesting thing was this, that I've been, you know, you're never quite sure what you can and can't do with a child of 4.
Well,
you know,
let me lay down some guidelines.
I wouldn't ask you, I suppose. But I decided to take her to the IMAX in the Science Museum because I thought this is a good toughening experience.
What to
they
show
say
her?
that anybody over 3 can go in.
Anybody over 3? Are you over 3? Yeah, I am, mate. In you come.
Yeah, that was me through the door straight away.
Right.
Anyway, so it's dinosaurs, and you know the IMAX, the screen is as big as 4 double-decker buses. It's enormous.
Cool.
And I'm thinking this is a big moment for Martha because she can now prove that she's sort of kind of mini grown up in a sort of child way. You know, she'll just do something. It'll be a little coming of age thing that she's seen an IMAX on dinosaurs. Anyway, the thing starts, the lights go down, she immediately starts to whimper a bit, and then
just because of the
first
darkness
note sounds.
before
It's
any
a very
dinosaurs.
loud note. And we haven't even seen a dinosaur at this point, and all that comes up on the screen is this little word, a few little words saying, narrated by Michael Douglas.
Right.
And she bursts into tears and asks to be taken out.
Well, what that could be is she might be worried that Michael Douglas's next wife will be even younger. She might fear that she was falling into the target area. She could have seen that, oh no, I'm not ready to leave Dad and the house. I'm so happy, I'm only 4. That's probably why it says over 3, so Michael Douglas can select you for his next wife.
That had not occurred to me, but you have actually solved my problem there, because I was feeling defeated as a parent, because I had to take her out within 90 seconds of the thing started, and we hadn't even seen a dinosaur at this stage. So I thought, I've obviously done something very majorly wrong as a parent.
No, I think you'll sound like a really good parent, Jeremy. I'll tell you the truth, I think that me, Man G, should come live round your house, just like wear little sailor suits, lick lollipops, have our little curly ringlets stroked by you and the missus, and you bring us up, take us where you want.
Oh, and we love it. You know, I'm always trying to get you around for dinner, but you live this celebrity lifestyle with Noel Gallagher the whole time.
Well, if you read old Noshoff Boshoff's articles, you'll know that I'm a man who simply pads around his house talking to a cat.
Well, I don't need to
something
read it. I've heard the whole thing. It sounds fantastically glamorous, going around the house talking to Morrissey the whole time.
It's pretty wild, let me tell you. Now, I won't worry about that. It sounds like, she'll be ready. It might be a bit scary to go in that room. It'll go a bit dark, a great big screen, a dramatic note being played.
Well, then if it was scary, though, then I feel I made a parental mistake, that I should have realised that it was going to scare her. I should, and then I think, well, it's a 7-year-old you want to take in, not a 4-year-old.
Yeah, but I don't think you can't preempt that, Jeremy. I think that it says over 3. You took that bit of guidance, and from the level of concern you've shown, you are evidently a very concerned parent, and I think no child can ask for more.
But you've also helped me with the words narrated by Michael Douglas could be traumatic for young girls of a certain age.
I think they would strike terror into the heart of any toddler, to tell you the absolute truth, Jeremy, and I think you've handled it with a kind of mastery that has inspired me as a broadcaster ever since I first heard your voice.
I'm sorry it wasn't a glamorous problem. I want to apologise for that now, but I thought you need something authentic that happened to me actually today, literally 5-6 hours ago.
Thank you for bringing us your authenticity. Now, do me the honour of hopping into bed with your missus, getting in there.
Upstairs and she's got the door closed, and I think I heard a very large piece of 8x4 go across it when she heard your jingle.
I'll tell you what,
introducing the item.
You've got something rather more impressive. Batter the door open, Jeremy, with every ounce you've got. Give her both barrels. Go on, Jeremy Vine.
It's a long staircase. I'm on the way up it.
That's the spirit. There he goes. Jeremy Vine, one of our sexy cohorts here at BBC Radio 2. Helped solve that gay problem. He was wonderful, wasn't he, Jeremy
Brilliant.
Vine, Matt? What a wonderful guest
That
he's been.
IMAX thing, though.
Oh, yes. What about it, Matthew? Is you doing an item?
Yeah.
What is this item called? I'll do a jingle.
No, I'll segue neatly into an
Yeah,
item.
but you don't
Now
want
look
to
at you.
segue into it. You need...
Unprofessional, clattering over it.
If you want to do item, mate, I'm doing one of my jingles. We're doing our jingle competition a little bit later. We've been sent some fantastic jingles. We will be listening to those. Although, also, we're going to start making our own jingles with your brother John, aren't we?
Yes.
It's going to be brilliant. He'll make some lovely jingles. But we'll still carry on doing
try
this
him out.
jingle thing that we're doing, won't we?
Yeah.
All right, go on. Are you going to do an item?
I went to see Beowulf 3D.
Matt's new item, Beowulf in 3D. Every week he reviews Beowulf in 3D.
It's amazing.
Is it good?
It's really good.
What's so good about it?
It's the 3D works.
Right, how do you mean by that? You feel like you're
You
in a...
feel like you're in the film. It's just, honestly, 2 hours of bliss.
Really?
I loved it.
Why are you so
I was
happy
drunk,
about it?
but
Why are you going to the cinema drunk? Who with?
I made a mistake with timing.
What do you mean? What's going on?
Yeah, but I was out too early. I'd had a few drinks, and then I was with my mate, and we said, let's go to the cinema.
And you went drunk to a cinema?
Yes.
An extraordinary act. I don't think
So
that's
the free,
normal.
I don't know if that affected. No, in fact, it didn't. It's brilliant, honestly.
Really?
I wouldn't gush about something like this.
Not you.
I mean, the film is just, it's an all right film, but the 3D
Right.
works. You feel like, it's like amazing. It's an amazing experience.
Don't take Jeremy Vine's 4-year-old daughter.
God,
she
no.
would hate it.
I'd be terrible with kids if they were scared of something.
Well,
It's
you'd
like,
think, oh,
why are
come
you
on.
scared? For goodness sake, come on.
I once went to see Last King of Scotland with someone who was over the age of 18, which was the
That's
certificate
not
for the
scary.
film. I know, you know the bit where they hang James McAvoy up and slash him up with razors?
yeah.
The person I was watching it with was so terrified that they started to cry. I mean, come on, this is a good
Yeah,
bit.
I'm really
He
intolerant.
deserved it. It's Idi Amin, ain't it?
Film, it's acting.
Oh, come on, they're pretending. We work in television. Grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, silly business, really. But, people
Do you
are
ever get
sensitive.
scared of films?
No, I do cry in films, but I won't, like, not really scared. Although I am
Why'd
scared.
you cry? Because you're not in them.
I can't possibly receive an award for this. Jim Carrey again. Oh, he's always in them. He was in Mask 1 and 2. Damon, I'm better than him. Oh, this is ridiculous. Oh no, it's Jennifer Lopez.
When your film's out, will you go to the cinema in disguise and sit at the back and come on, you idiots, watch it?
Come on, focus. Why are you eating poppity corn? Focus on the screen.
Stand up and clap at the end. Clap, everyone clap.
Oh, bravo! God bless you, Mum. Yeah, I will do that, actually. And I'm doing the Royal Variety performance, Matthew.
No, you're not.
I'm performing in front of Her Majesty the Queen of England and Prince Philip.
Oh, dear.
Is it going to be a mistake to do this? Is it a terrible risk?
I don't know. What are you going to do? Not your material.
I don't know what to say. Perhaps some of my views. How about that?
No.
No views.
You'll say something daft about revolution.
I was going to say something daft about revolution, as a matter of fact.
What will you say? I
Well-
bet you say some sort of John Lennon-esque comment about...
Hey, jangle your jewellery, jangle your tiaras.
Hello, miss. I recognise you off our money. You'll do something like that, won't you?
I won't recognise you off our money. What might I do? I might say so. I was thinking of having a bit of a flirt with her. I mean, that'd be a good story.
No.
Brand dates the Queen. Imagine I pulled
Look
her.
at you big head. I might
What?
flirt with her, and then your next thought is, she'll go out with me.
Well,
Of
obviously,
course.
she's going to leap all over that opportunity.
Brand dates the Queen. You'll be in trouble. Remember when the Australian Prime Minister touched her bum?
Yeah, how dare he?
Right.
He was put his arm around. He did touch her bum, Matthew. He put his arm around her shoulder. Look at you, you're worse than Nosh off, Bosh off. Do you remember that? When the Australian Prime Minister done Her Majesty over a balcony? He did nothing of the sort. He put his arm around her, which was a disgrace. Queen of England.
Don't you go near her.
I won't.
They won't let you meet
Yeah,
her.
I'd treat her right. If I find out that Prince Philip ain't treating her correctly and nobly, I will intervene in that
Imagine you
marriage.
just like when she comes and shakes your hand, just throttle her. Well, imagine you did.
I know, that's really weird when you think, oh my God, I could just do
actually
that now.
And
She's
then
just
that'll be
there.
the
That's
biggest
Queen.
story ever.
I suddenly got around and went, come here, you! What are you thinking of?
And then
Oh, it's Queen
and
Anne.
immediately go, sorry.
Look, this won't affect my knighthood, will it? I'm so sorry, Mum. I don't know what I was thinking. Come on, give us a cuddle. Get off her. All sorts of people would just come on and jiu-jitsu you in the windpipe if you did anything like that to the
I
Queen.
wonder what would happen though.
You'd
'cause
beat you up.
Do you think you'd like die in an accident?
That
sound
sounded a
bad,
bit
that.
weird. Don't say Diana accident.
I said die in an accident.
Well, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, no, I would. I don't know what would happen.
Careful.
Steady, easy. We're live. This is BBC Radio 2. It's Her Majesty the Queen's favourite radio
You'd end up
station.
in prison.
I love Her Majesty the Queen. I'll say that for you. Every time I see her on some money, I think, oh, I might keep hold of that.
What's her position in the revolution?
I'm afraid, well,
Still
I don't,
Queen?
I don't think she's allowed to be the Queen no more, because everyone's... Well, she can be a sort of a Queen, but she's not allowed to have more money than anyone else. Everyone's got to be equal after
So
the
you're a
revolution.
royalist?
I don't mind it, but I just think that everyone has to... It's a sort of, having a monarchy is against my principles of absolute egalitarianism, but it's good to have totemic figures.
All I said about throttling, all that stuff. I
All
think
that,
she
yeah.
does a fantastic job.
Oh, Matt, your OBE's well safe. You're like Sir Walter Riley, you are. Oh, you're vital cog in the wheel of the machinery. Russell, I saw your boots for the first time the other day. Don't listen to Matt, they're super. Love you, Russell, says Amy. Coming to see you in Leeds in December. Can't wait. Please read this out. I've read it out. A lot of people love the Rootin' Toon boots. That's what I've learned on my bookie book tour. They're adored.
But you can't wear cowboy boots with a dress.
Why can't I? It's not a dress. Oh, that makes me think I'd like to listen to some... Look, can we have some Dolly Parton on this programme?
What?
Well, cowboy
There we
boots,
go.
dress.
Finally complete. The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. Hey, go on, isn't it your mate's birthday?
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
you want to play something for your mate?
Yes.
What is it, your mate,
It's
Matt?
my mate Matt's
All his
birthday.
family sitting around the wireless, are they, like during the war?
Hopefully.
Right, you lot. Now,
This
cop a
is
load
a
of
song
this.
when he was a guitarist in my band when I was a singer. I've known him all my life.
Matt's band. Can you imagine that? Don't go in the garage. Matt and his band are in there making a dreadful din.
We used to do this song,
Go on, what is it?
Whole Lot of Rosie by AC/DC.
And this is Happy Birthday. What's his surname?
Crips.
Matt Cripps.
Yeah.
That's an interesting name. That's a gang, as far as I know.
Bloods and the Crips in
Bloods
LA.
and the Crips. You want to watch out. You better watch out. Happy birthday, Matt Cripps.
Happy
And
birthday.
happy birthday, Mum! Whole Lot of Rosie, AC/DC. You listen to Russell Brand on BBC Radio 2. That's for Matt's mate, also called Matt, and your family. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. You're right, Matt.
Yes.
Why are you ringing up our agent asking him if he can stop development of... Right, Matt lives near the building where our management offices are moving to. Now, I spoke to him briefly on the phone the other day, everyone, right? Listen to Russell Brand on Radio 2. He goes, the builders that are building a building around the corner from my flat, and by coincidence, this is the new offices of our management company. He goes, them builders, they're like, this like strange... What did you describe them as? Like, sort of like hippie builders. He goes, they're burning, they keep starting fires and singing songs. What are the songs they're singing? I believe in rock and roll or
no,
something.
It was that, give me the people to free my soul.
What, they stand around fire singing that? Give me the people
no, they don't
free
stand
my
around fire doing that.
Come on!
No, I could hear, like, I was laying in bed, and I thought it was something to do with bonfire night, but it's gone on every day.
You thought it was to do with bonfire night?
Give me
the free one to Guy Fawkes. Come on, Guy Fawkes! Give me the people to free my soul. Wanna get lost in blowing up Parliament, yeah.
No, not the song.
Right, well, you just thought the fire.
Fire, yeah.
Right, fair
and I was
enough.
laying there, and then one of them was singing. I didn't mind the singing.
Right.
And then I shouted
Why
out the
didn't you
window.
join in like Rocky?
Because I didn't want to join in with them. They're not normal builders.
Well, what's wrong with them?
They look like builders from another decade. They've all
What
got long
decade?
hair, and they're Australian.
Long-haired Australian builders.
Yeah.
This is unusual.
I know.
must
Well, they're
say.
obviously doing temp work or something. But anyway,
Something's going on.
so but every day, smoke comes into my bedroom from it, right?
Yeah.
So I shouted out the window, "Oi, can you put that fire out?"
Yeah.
He went, "I'll have to ask my boss, mate." I goes, "I'll tell him." And then he went off, told the boss. I saw the boss, this little rat of a man, like literally go, like shake his head.
He shook his head nonchalantly.
And like wave his hands away as if to go, "Ignore him!" Like that.
What the hell did that
then-
irk you, mate?
So badly. And then they put pallets, right? They were burning materials for building, right, which is illegal, because I looked it up on the internet.
Oh, you're
and
such
then
a
I phoned the
boffin.
council.
He phoned the council, but you also phoned our management company, phoned up Handsome Nick, and went, "Oh mate, can you tell the builders to stop having fires? But because the smoke's coming in my bedroom." And Nick, I don't know if we can do that, mate. Come on. And then he went, "Yeah, but I think it's against building regulations. It's not me. I think some of the children in the play school around the corner might have asthma." Start pretending you were doing it like Erin
did.
Brockovich, some campaign to
I
cure
pretend-
children.
Well, after halfway through the phone call, I thought, hang on, I've gone mad. I'm phoning our agent
Yeah.
to try and sort out a bonfire.
That is mad. That's Axl Rose mad.
No, it's not.
This is. If Axl Rose phoned up his management company and said, "Could you sort out a bonfire around the corner?" That's not for our agent. They're just meant to field
It's not
phone
even
calls
it
for
wasn't
our
even
jobs.
the right building site.
Wasn't it?
But then I sort of thought, oh no, I'm being mad. So I went, it's just that there's kids nearby. Cause
Did
there's
you
a, there's
try
a
to
play
buy you
school,
out
yeah.
of it? And what's the game them kids at the school play?
Oh yeah. Don't expose me for everything I ever tell you. Make me sound eccentric.
You will sound eccentric. Go on, what's the game?
Well, there are about 3, I think. There's like a little creche.
Yeah.
And they always play a game. Well, they play 2 games. And I'm sitting there at my computer working diligently. And I always hear these kids go, "Right, you're the king and I'm a tomato." They play a game where one's a king and one's a tomato.
I don't
Every
think-
day.
That's a strange game to have such a long shelf life, isn't
I
it?
reckon there's a children's book where that is, you know.
Can we find out? If you know about that, could you send us information, 88291 or russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. King and Tomato. I don't see
Doesn't make
why that would be a
sense.
story.
Or they play mums and dads and they fight over this little pushchair. And it's really annoying because you can just, their voices just cut right through you.
Well,
So
perhaps,
with them on one side,
perhaps you
builders
should
on the other.
encourage the builders and the children to get closer together till there's a great big glorious collusion of burning King
No,
Tomatoes.
can I just say, just in case anyone's, you know, like on the edge of their seat with the
Yeah.
bonfire story.
Oh, they must be. Go on, what's the resolution?
Well,
What
I
happened?
phoned up, and after some red tape,
Uh-huh.
a guy came round.
Yeah,
and,
really? You solved
it's
it?
amazing. Well, I was looking out my window.
Brilliant.
The bloke came round and goes, "Where's the fire?" I pointed at it, and he went, "Right, I'll be back in a minute." Oh, he goes, "I'll call you back in a minute."
What was
'Cause
he wearing?
I was scared, because he goes, "Right," and I went, "I don't have to come with you, do I?"
You little coward!
Yeah, and he goes, no, it's fine. I'll call you afterwards. He was wearing like Camden Council get up, like a fleece.
He had a fleece.
And,
on.
he had
Did
a-
he look authoritative?
Yes.
Oh, and you saying I don't have to come with you? You're so childish.
And then I ran back in my house. And then I
to
watched
watch
out
through
the window.
Did you peek through?
Listen to what happened. I couldn't see the bloke, but I could see the builders all sort of going, "What's going on?"
Give me
They all
the
went over.
free one, free miles. What?
And one of them, a little tubby man, ran. But one of the man was talking to him, and they'd been going, "We ain't got a fire. It's not our fire." A bloke, big fat bloke, ran over with a spade and beat the fire out. And I was looking out of my window going, "Ha! Well, yeah, look at it. And then they put dirt all over it, and then they poured water over it, and the bonfire was out, and they haven't lit it again.
Give us the freedom to sing our song and have a little fire. We're doing nothing wrong. We're living our lives. Matt, you rat, you grassing them up.
No, he's making my house smell of fire.
Well, mate, you want to try living my life?
That's a
padding
victory.
around
That's a
in
small
slippers.
victory from me against the corporations.
You're like a little Englander, mate, doing stuff like that. Here's a message from Sam. Oi, I'm a weird loner who pads around in fluffy slippers, but I'm sexy too, because humans are multifaceted. Silly woman, Alison. Love, Sam. Pass that on to her directly. Sam, thank you very much. Hi, Ross and Co. I just thought I'd share with you, says Julia, that when I was 45 I started having a brace fitted, and it was worth all the pain and ulcers because the teeth came out all nice and straight. Trust me, I'm a dental nurse. Really is. Nice. Love the show.
Did you
Thanks
just
a
get
lot.
turned on by the words dental nurse?
Well, yeah, because what I thought of is I remembered a sort of an apocryphal tale about people waking up after having dentistry. I think it was Larry David in an
With their
episode.
pants on back to front.
Back to front pants, yeah.
You fool.
Why?
That doesn't happen.
So what if it don't? I once was in a hospital and I goes to the nurse, look, I see a documentary and I have heard that nurses sometimes interfere with patients. I've been in here a day, nothing has happened. Back your ideas up, love.
What were you in for?
I was meant to be working there as a porter, but I just kept clambering into bed, demanding a bed bath. You wee in a cardboard bottle thing. Have you ever done that?
Cardboard, it's glass.
No, I weed in this thing that was made of, like, egg box.
That was your dinner.
Well, I did drink it. No, it's like an egg box thing.
Oh,
and you had to
really?
wee in it, like papier-mâché.
I would never have done the bed pan. I got up.
I
I wasn't
liked
allowed
it.
out of bed, but I went to the toilet.
You robbed that boy of his paninis. I've not forgive you
I was
for
a
that.
child.
Callan Page, Matt once robbed a child of all his foil stickers, of a child who was in a coma. Matt might try and claim as his defence that he too was a child. That is unforgivable. No wonder Darren French, bringer of justice, pinned this evil child while stood on stunt nuts. More
No
I
one
think
knows
about
what
it.
that means if they didn't
What,
listen.
pin? All
Yeah.
right, well, what happened once was Matt was walking down the street like the shuffling little soon-to-be grass of builders that he was to grow into, walking along shuffling, probably with snot cake round his nose, going, robbing panini stickers off lads in comas, and Darren French, like a noble Caesar, on the stunt nuts at the back of his mate's BMX, a little sort of character, stood there all noble, and the other lad was riding the BMX, and as they went past Matt, Darren French went, pin, and stabbed Matt with a pin. So it was a really aristocratic bit of bullying. This has now become a craze around the nation. Because when I've been doing the bookie walk tour, kids keep coming up and going, we're doing pin at our school. I go, well, don't, because it could spread
You might get
hepatitis and blood
pin-pinned.
disease. No one pin me.
Ever.
'Cause
Or
I
me,
don't want-
'cause I've had it once.
Don't pin Matt, because that'll relive
Yeah,
childhood
that'd be
trauma
like-
for
yeah,
him.
exactly.
But Mr. G, pin him till he's like a pin cushion. Hello, Russell, Matt and G, says Callum Page from Bridlington. I'm 14, and throughout my school there are signs of the revolution taking place. In most textbooks, exam papers is a piece of paper saying RBR, standing for Russell Brand Revolution. Well, excellent. You can spend that energy troubling Alison Bosch off at the Daily Mail for Ashley and my mother. Also, says Callum Page, I wondered if Mr. G could possibly be Guz off EastEnders. Other soap operas are available. Guz is another poet. Sounds exactly like G and has the same initials. I don't think so. He would have mentioned it. Are you in EastEnders, G? No, he's not, mate. No, it's not him. It's not him. It's someone else. Dear Russell, Matt and G, I have a cautionary tale for you. I went out this afternoon and got a pair of what Noel Gallagher calls stupidly tight trousers, says Jake. Although they look great, they are half painful on the gear. Don't worry about that, mate. It's the price you pay.
Lycra ones.
What, for, around the...
Well, you need a bit of Lycra in them, don't you?
Matthew, this is an interesting email. See what you think about this. It's from Nikki Joyce. She says, I'm just listening to last week's podcast and you're talking about a fella pretending to be blind. Well, we actually said he's not pretending to be blind. It's just someone saw a person with a white stick who had a nicely tied tie knot and assumed that the whole thing must have been a facade. But myself, I think that was a genuine blind person who had just learned how to tie a tie well, don't you, Matt?
Yes.
Well, not old Nikki Joyce, she don't. She goes, there's another woman, there's a woman where I live who pretends to be blind. She walks into a cafe with a stick and a dog, then she sits down and texts people and checks her change at the counter. And a few times she's walked in, and as soon as she's in the door, she looks at me and asks me to move my daughter's pram, which is at the under end of the cafe. So people do pretend to be blind. I might pin her next time I see her.
Can we ever... Partially excited.
She might be partially excited. We can't...
Partially excited.
She might be. I am. Just the thought of a blind person being pinned has sent me into a... No, it hasn't.
say that.
Never pin the blind, or anyone.
Doesn't count as a full pinning.
If you're pinning anyone without one of their senses, that don't go to the league table of pinning that we're not setting up
Because if you're deaf, you wouldn't hear the words pin, it's just a stabbing.
Yeah, there's no fun in that. You've just stabbed someone who's already coping with not having one of the main senses that they need. Laura, on last week's show you read an email from a bloke who's suspicious of a blind man's blindness. When I was 15 and I went on a trip to France, I broke my glasses because I'm short-sighted. I end up wearing prescription sunglasses all the time on the ferry home. I was in the shop looking at magazines when a man took me by the arm and asked if I was okay, thinking I was blind. So I just went with it and pretended to be blind and spent the whole afternoon living as a blind person. Laura, that is a disgrace what you've done. That is a person who deserves some pinnery if ever I heard of it. Today is Peter Cook's 70th birthday, except for the fact that he died while he was in his 50s, but nonetheless it was on this day that he was born. To honour Peter Cook, we will play something to do with him. But before that, we're going to play Jolene by Dolly Parton. Later on, we're going to play some of our jingles competitions. We're going to talk to Noel Gallagher. What's that interesting story about a man who was arrested for having sex with a bicycle?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll find out about that later.
Let's get to the nub of that issue.
Let's get to the nub. But first of all, Jolene, and then probably some newsy poos. We will be discussing Jolene in great detail because me and Matt think she sounds like an ugly cow and not as nice as Dolly Parton. But before that is a little show we like to call, well, this is BBC Radio 2, online, on digital, and on 88 and 91 FM. Here is some news! You're listening to Russell Brand on BBC Radio 2. We just had some newsy poos. After that, it was Slade. What are they saying? Mama, we're all crazy now.
Yes.
Are we all, though?
Well, apparently.
I've asked that they're just singing something that's insurmountable and simply untrue. You can't support such a statement. Hey, Russell, my name's Jolene, and I hate the fact that I get that terrible song sung to me all the time, as Jolene sounds as if she's a right slag. That's obviously from someone called Jolene. We can only assume. She doesn't put her name, but she said earlier on she was called Jolene.
Well, she hasn't done anything wrong in the song.
Has she not, Matt?
No, the
Has
bad
Jolene
person
not
is the boyfriend.
Is he? Because
Well,
he keeps muttering. Well, let's get to the bottom of this. We've got the lyrics here of Jolene, and you can get the lyrics yourself. And if you want to join in our new item, Judge Jolene. Right, go on then, Matt. What bit interests you?
Well, for a start, yeah, she's got ginger hair at that bit there. She's got ivory skin, and she's got eyes of emerald green.
Yeah,
right?
Ivory skin. I don't like the sound of that at all. I was in Morocco the other week, and there was so much ivory for sale in this shop. I can't believe there's that many elephants in the world. Tons of it.
That's illegal.
That's what I said. I see Mikel Silvestre out of Man United.
Worse than the
there.
bonfire.
There was so much ivory. It was loads and loads of ivory, great big tusks. I must say, it's very beautiful. I'm not saying buy ivory. Terrible business.
Did you not arrive here earlier in an ivory carriage?
Yes, I did. That's ivory substitute. Don't judge me, ivory carriage. That's a glorious thing. I said, right, after this, lads, not one more elephant, all right? But just build me a lovely, luxurious ivory carriage. I'm against the ivory trade, obviously. But yeah, it was astonishing how much ivory there was. It's loads of it.
Well, come on then, focus on this.
Jolene's made out of ivory. That's already illegal. And she's got emerald green eyes. I don't know. She just sounds a bit pale.
Well, she sounds all right, but right, why is Dolly Parton just giving up on like talking to her man and going, "Excuse me, why are you talking about Jolene?"
Why don't you mention it to her man? He's there in the bed. Yeah. Jolene could live anywhere.
And why is she like Jolene? Oh, please don't take my man. You easily could. Yeah. And then she says he means a lot to me. Well, he can't be very nice.
He sounds like a pig, this geezer. And also, Dolly Parton's fit. I didn't know, even at her time of life, lovely. She got nice boobs, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So whereas Jolene, there's no mention of what her boobs are like, except that she's ivory. They might be like horrible tusks.
But listen to this: you could have your choice of men, but I could never love again.
Oh, Jolene, leave him.
Dolly Parton's.
Dolly's got a terrible crisis of confidence.
Unless this is from the point of view of someone.
That's not Dolly.
Female John Merrick.
Jolene, please don't go. John Merrick wouldn't care. He's so lovely. If you did take his man, he wouldn't give him monkeys. Yeah, just be grateful. Oh, take him if you want, Jolene. Kind of you to even consider it after I've touched him with my admittedly perfect genitals. Your smile is like a breath of spring. Your voice is like soft summer rain, difficult to understand, that would be. And I cannot compete with you, Joe. Yeah, fair enough. Well, all I'm saying is, the onus, you're right, Matthew, the onus lies with the boyfriend of Dolly, as opposed to Jolene, in this instance.
Look at this bit. I had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you. It's not really a talk, is it?
It's not a talk, it's an ode. And
a song.
don't communicate with people through odes. Just get out there into a car park and slug them in the guts, Dolly. If Jolene has orange hair, white skin and green eyes, I bet her face looks like the Irish flag, says Neil in Barnsley. But that is a beautiful and noble flag, Neil, and I can see the attraction. Hi, Russell. Russell and Matt said at the start of the show that you hadn't drank for 2 weeks, yet you went to see Beowulf drunk. Shout at him for lying.
Yeah,
Matt, you
because there
lying
was 2
pig.
weeks of no drinking.
And then a drunken
broken
trip
by a
to
fast.
Beowulf. Why did you do that? You had 2 weeks off drinking, then got drunk out of your brain and went to see Beowulf in a cinema.
That's how I live, baby.
That's what kids do.
I don't pad around my house talking to my cat.
Oh, you all right? I wonder if we should go and see Beowulf. Oh, a bit of a sherry first. I'm living on my nerves. I've emailed you before. Last week you talked about Darth Vader and how wonderful it was. I thought I'd let you know that they couldn't use the man in the suit's voice because he was from the West Country. We know about that, my love. We could talk to him if you wanted to. He was the Green Cross man. Thought you'd like to know, says Ellie Stock. Well, yeah, Dave Prowse. Yeah, he's a well-known fella. But yeah, Ellie Stock's only 15. To her, that'll be a new gem of information.
You get.
Why am I get?
Oh, she's only young. She doesn't even know that.
Oh, how sweet. Oh, how absolutely charming, Ellie. Oh, snug in the woolen cotton brains of infancy. There you are. Letter to Boshoff. This is from someone calling themselves Russ fan. I think I'm pretty safe reading this out. Their whole identity is built around liking me. Thank you. I think it's sad that you should write such terrible thing. Oh, look, they've sent a copy of a letter they're writing into Alison Boshoff. Let's have a look. I think it's sad that you should write such a terrible thing about Russell in your column and harass his mum when Russ is such a kind, caring man who has been to hell and back and rises like a phoenix from the ashes. So please give up your bitterness and engage in some counselling to help turn yourself around and see the light of love. Russ wants to show love to everyone, so I will send you actual love to show that Russ fans are better people than you give us credit for. Please stop and consider what you are saying before you rip into Russ for no reasons. It takes courage to write a book such as Russ's Bookie Wook, where he faces his demons and slays them. Is now moving on. I wish you actual love and blessings. Well done, Russ fan. Not my words, but the unbiased views of Russ fan 101. Thank you, Russ fan, and all of you on the Russell Brand fan site forum.
And you turned up with that written down in your hand.
Oh, look at this. Oh, bosh off, nosh off, you silly old sod. Yeah, no, that's from a genuine, lovely
That's quite
fan.
a mature reply.
Very mature, because it's loving and decent. Much more mature than my puerile attacks on the journalist simply doing her job.
Do you reckon the editor says, "We want a hatchet job on Brad's book. Who's going to write? Bosh off, you do it." And she goes, "Oh, but I don't really care either way."
I quite liked Dance Floor Trout.
Yeah.
No, bosh off. Go against your instincts.
Or do you think she goes, "I read that book's rubbish. I've written this. Print it if you want. If not, don't nail it to his door."
Kick his mum's back door in any way you see fit and stuff this story up here. Dear Russell, I had a dream last night that you cut your hair off and tried to sell me a TV licence. It was frightening. Have a nice evening, Jenny. Well, in a way, I suppose I do, because like the TV licence does go to paying the salaries of myself, Matt Morgan and G. Quite
it?
right.
Oh,
Of course it
fair.
does. We'd
BBC.
yeah. We pay our licences, though. I like the
we do.
BBC. I don't like the way that people are trying to destroy the BBC. I'm up for it. Leave the BBC alone. It's a good thing, isn't it, the BBC?
Brilliant thing.
Come on, get behind it, you squares. After the revolution, can I have one of the Queen's tiaras? Love and cuddles, Laura. No, the Queen... Maybe, I don't know. We'll think about it. We might not want tiaras. We might just crush them up into a drink. This is from Nick in the Midlands. Russell, I know you're proud of your boots, but do be careful. The only time I wore a pair myself, my boot went through a ceiling. Oh, come on, grow up. Boots going through ceilings. I had to pay 200 quid in damages to the owner of the ceiling, and they didn't talk to me again for a year. That's from Nick in the Midlands. It's been a while since we've had boot-through ceiling stories on this show. Oh, those were the days. Right, time now for a little item I like to call the news. Radio 2. Bike sex case sparks legal debate. The case of a man convicting of simulating sex with his bicycle has sparked a debate about human rights and the privacy of an individual. Internet message boards have been buzzing with comment about the case of Robert Stewart, 51, from Ayr. He was reported by cleaners at a hostel who unlocked his door and found him engaged in a sex act with his bike. Stewart was put on the sex offenders register, which some posters said was an overreaction by the sheriff. Well, OK, firstly, sex offenders register. OK, Sutcliffe, here. West, here. Must be a bit weird to have a sex offenders register. And a sheriff? There's a sheriff now.
Scotland, isn't it?
Fair enough, then. Well, should people... How would you have sex with a bike?
Well, hang on. There's a
The saddle.
discrepancy here, because he goes, he was simulating sex with a bike, right?
Or having sex.
Well, yeah, well, you can't be, if you simulate sex with something, then that's not a sex crime.
Yeah, to simulate. Oh, yeah. Are you having sex with that bike? Good Lord, no. Sorry, this is
simulating
a mime. Oh, well, jolly good. It was very convincing. I'd like to present you with a rosette. Where would you like me to stick it?
Why, if he's in his room and the cleaners came in
Yeah.
and saw him doing this, he can do what he likes in his room.
On your own
the
in a room with
bike
just
isn't
a-
exactly going to pedal off and cry about it.
You don't know, Matt. When that bike grows up, it'll probably have psychological problems.
It wasn't a tricycle, it was a bike.
Yeah, grown-up bike. Did it have stabilisers on it? Because if it had stabilisers on it, that's
That's
disgusting.
just safe sex.
Yeah, that's out of order. That if you want to have it off with a bike in the privacy of your own home, go wild. I say. I've never done it with any. Have you done it with an inanimate thing ever?
Yeah, remember when I had to have sex with that thing for our show?
Oh yeah, you had sex with a fake female genital,
Yeah.
didn't you? You liked it. Hold on, you didn't have to do that for our show,
Yes, you told me to do it.
did I? Are
Yes,
you sure you
and
didn't?
then you said, and when you finish with it, send it round my house in a cab, which I didn't have the courage to do.
In a cab. Imagine it just sat in the back of a cab with a cigarette between its lips, going, "I don't think I'm ready for this. I've been passed round." What would my mother say?
Yeah, so hang on, but what if like someone's using a sex toy in a room on their own, and then someone comes in? You can't go, "Oh, simulating sex."
On that poor sex toy. I hope you've got its consent. Yeah,
It's not fair. He hasn't done anything wrong, I don't
I'm
think.
right behind Robert Stewart, although I wouldn't dare to have my tyres pumped up. Stewart was put on the sex offenders register. Yeah, that's not a sex offence. Stewart admitted a sexually aggravated breach of the peace by conducting himself in a disorderly manner and simulating sex. There's nothing wrong with simulating sex, is there? As well as being put on the register for 3 years, he was put on probation for the same length of time. More than 1 million people have read the story on this website, and it's been hotly debated on forums elsewhere. One contributor asked, what next? Would they have done the same to a woman with a sex toy? Yeah, of course not.
Exactly.
But a bike's not a sex toy, really, is it?
Take the saddle off.
Unless you, yes, quite rightly, yeah. And then you could have a piston
But
attached.
that's what, I don't think that's what he was doing.
No. Oh, maybe he was.
No.
I got the impression that he was the active partner. He was aggressing
I
between
think
the
so.
spokes. Spokey dokey, picking up. Sorry. Well, apart from the fact that the sex toy was manufactured for the purpose and the bicycle wasn't, I really don't see the difference between the two acts. Another blogger, which sounds perverse, said, I'm more disturbed by the sheriff's ruling than by the act of having sex with a bike. Sounds quite funny, sex with a bike. Those discussing the case online were also worried about the future implications. One person wrote, it's bad news for privacy in the UK because of how a ruling like this could support similar cases in the future. A legal expert said he would have been placed on the sex offenders register under Section 80 of the Sex Offence Act 2003. That states that a person should be put on a register if the court determines that there was a significant sexual aspect to the offender's behaviour committing the offence. This is not the first legal case involving someone simulating sex with an inanimate object. In 1997, Robert Watt was fined £100 for trying to have sex with a shoe in an Edinburgh street. Trying to have sex. Look, whatever you want. I'll buy you a drink. Would you like to go to a hotel? I must say, your laces look absolutely lovely. I'm not interested in your back, wolf. Try not. If you can't succeed in mating with a shoe when you want to, for God's sake, get some tips
At
off a
least
website.
a shoe, I can at least
It's got an
visualise
orifice.
that. Well, yeah.
Yeah, because a bike, what is the bit you're having the sex with? I don't. It must
impossible.
be the saddle, Matthew.
No, I think he might spin the wheel.
Oh, spin, spin, spin the wheel of sexy. See how quick you can climax. Yeah, perhaps he spins the wheel and then what? He puts his.
He should have used a roller skate.
If you look, mate, that's the real problem here. If you want to have sex with some wheelie vehicle, why not use a roller skate? Why not fill up a wheelie bin with heels, get inside and just push yourself down a hill with no trousers and pants on? Yeah, that would have been better. In 2002, listen to this, old Robert Watt, the old filthy pig. In 2002, the same man was arrested for simulating sex with a traffic cone in front of a crowd of people. Simulating sex.
Yeah, but that's the sort of thing people do when they're drunk. Pretending
Yeah.
to have sex, unless, I suppose, he was naked or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, because if he was
It's
just
not
grinding
sex,
against
though.
it, like
Yeah.
Prince or
It's
something.
very weird, isn't it?
Well, the bike thing, these are the questions for me. How was he simulating the sex? I mean, like, whatever he was doing, I think if there's not another person present, you're alone in your room, no one's getting hurt
banged
or
on the
being
door, there
hurt
was
at
no
any
answer.
stage.
They came in after knocking loads of times and went, oh no, and he carried on. It says here,
Go on.
Knocked on the door, there was no reply. The accused was holding the bike and moving his hips back and forth as if to simulate sex.
As if to simulate it. Look, I'm trying to simulate sex here, so...
But then he could just go, I was just mucking about.
Yeah, well, I think he's handled this badly and needs to get a better lawyer because... don't sound to me like he's done anything wrong. Earlier this month, sentences were deferred on a teenager, Steve Marshall, who admitted simulating sex on a pavement while drunk. This is an epidemic. Why are people just simulating sex? Why don't they have sex with each other or be like me, celibate? Perhaps we should
Still
talk
celibate?
to... 25 or 26 or 27 or something days. I'm doing ever so well with that. We could, if we wanted, Matt, guess who we can talk to? We can talk to some woman who's a sexpert. She's an expert on sex. What's her name? Matt will know.
I don't know her name.
Nick's going to announce it in your brain in a second.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Go on, what is it?
Bracing myself for that.
Pam what? Pam No, we're not getting that, Nick. He can't. He's meant to be the expert. That Dr. Pam Spur. Right, why don't we talk to Dr. Pam Spur, ask her these questions. Aren't I great? That's not a question, actually. Say this statement. Aren't I great for being celibate for 25 days? Or whatever it is. And then say... how would you simulate bike? Yeah, what's the deal, man? And then later on, I've got to do something because a friend of mine asked me to do some PR thing for something to do with loss adjustment or money or something.
Well, that'll be exciting.
It's going to be a wild ride. It'll be interesting. But yeah, let's get this person up there. What are we going to listen to? All right, now we'd like to dedicate this. What's his name, Michael Eyre? Robert Eyre? What's his name, this poor sexy devil with his bike?
Robert Stewart.
Robert Stewart, mate. We'd like to dedicate this song to you. God bless you. Bicycle Race, that's by Queen. You listen to Russell Brand on BBC Radio 2. We're dedicating to that poor fella. All he wants to do is have it off with his bike in the privacy of his own room. I don't know, what kind of society are we living in? Well, let's ask a genuine sexpert, Pam, who has written a book, Fabulous Foreplay, The Sex Doctor's Guide to Teasing and Pleasing Your Lover. Pam, hello, dear.
Good evening, Mr. Brand.
Hello, well, you already sound quite sexy. We've barely said a word. How's
I'll
it
tell
going?
you, you've just interrupted me stroking my pussy good night.
Hold
I've got
on.
an early call tomorrow morning to record a TV programme.
Listen, love, the Queen listens to this radio show, so don't come on here with a pun that if it had been coming out of Molly Sugden's mouth 2 decades ago, I'd have slammed a frying pan into it.
No,
now, come on.
honestly, I was stroking my tinker good night, just like you would stroke your cat good night.
Well, fair enough, my dear, but now listen, we've phoned you for genuine grown-up adult sexy advice.
Okay.
Now, I'd like you to give it to us. Firstly, aren't I good being celibate?
I think it's fabulous. You know why? Because when you've dipped your fingers too many times in the sort of sexual sweet shop, and I suppose you've actually...
Your images are disgusting, Pam.
I think you've really dived into the sweet shop. That's what we should say about you, Russell. It's a good thing to take a break.
Is it?
Yeah, celibacy, it kind of gives you breathing space to learn to feel again, Russell, because we know what sex addicts get up to. They get up to all the physical stuff to try and fill that emotional hole.
Oh, the emotional hole has got to be filled with a bicycle wheel.
Exactly. You cannot fill an emotional hole with physical things like sex. So it gives you that time to start actually reconnecting with your emotions.
All right,
Russell.
sex pot, I gotcha. Now, what about this? I agree with you entirely. That's why I'm doing it. Now, what about this bloke having it off with his bike? There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Well, whatever floats his boat, as long as he doesn't end up in A&E, I suppose.
Even then, who cares? Well,
it might be a bit
plaster
painful.
And go home. Yeah, but that's only his willy or bum or whatever it is he's having to go out on his bike. So there's nothing wrong with it, is there?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it until it becomes just a pursuit and there's no pleasure left. And when you're just objectifying people, because again,
or bikes.
The sex addict does is, they start dehumanizing people. They don't see them anymore.
Or
as
they
a person with
de-bikeify
feeling.
bikes, don't they?
Or they get off on their bikes, which can end up a kind of lonely and isolating pursuit.
I should say so, because, why do you think, them people, like we just read out about a fella having it off, diddling his shoe, another fella diddling a road cone, another one diddling his bike. Why do you think they're doing that, Pam? You're a sexpert.
Well, people choose all sorts of inanimate objects, i.e. sort of fetish objects, to have sex with. And it may just be that something is handy to them. So for some reason, their bike is the only thing that they can think of putting their willy in. Or it could be
Where would you put your willy on a bike? You're an expert.
One of my brothers is an A&E doctor, so I know from his experience that, if you take off the rubber...
Do they have to have sex with a bike as part of their training?
Well, no, they have people who come in who've had sex with a bike and got stuck.
So hold on, where have they done it?
Pardon, hun?
So, well, if these, in your brother's experience, where have these people had sex with a bike? Where's the point of contact?
Because they can't think of anything else.
But I know that. But practically, where did you put your willy?
In the bike handle. They take the rubber handle off. Russell, you've got a brain.
Yeah, I know, all right, but I've not had sex with a bike. So I don't teach it at school.
Bike handle's too
I think
small.
people get incredibly creative when they're lonely and they basically want to masturbate. And they think, well, I'm fed up with my hand. I will look for some object.
Well, here's some advice. Vacuum cleaner.
Exactly.
A melon.
Shampoo bottle.
Humans. Other human adults.
Exactly.
Shampoo bottle.
Yep, I've heard that one too.
They're too narrow. Oh, I suppose that's why if these people have got these thin, spindly willies, we might as well have it off with your bike or matey. I'm only going to do it with Mrs. Matey. I'm not going to do it with Matey. I ain't a pervert. Okay, Pam, come on then, so give us some genuine, because we've been a bit pure on silly, give us some genuine sexual advice then, but not something that sounds too, when people talk about sex in a spiritual way and it's all a bit, come on.
No, well, I suppose if you're talking about celibacy, I mean, that is a choice. So someone has decided they need a breathing space in their life and they need to actually learn something about themselves and how they relate to other people rather than just using sex to relate to people. Yeah. So that's a good thing. But a lot of people don't come to that point. They haven't had, sexual relationships that are damaging or sexual experiences that are damaging. So instead, they may decide to, just simply experiment with their partner, which is why I've written my new book.
Fabulous foreplay.
Pardon?
What's so fabulous? Go on, give us a tip then, but remember you're on the BBC and not to insult Her Majesty the Queen, who I performed before soon.
Well, I suppose, I always think reinvigorate and re-excite your skin, because a lot of people feel...
What, with a massage?
No,
it's always a massage, isn't it? Oh, get a bra.
Feather.
What?
Massage oil and feather. Do feathering. It feels fabulous. You drip the oil down your chest and then you have someone feather.
That's just not enough for me anymore, is it you, Matt? Like, say someone goes, here, I have a feather.
It's not enough for you, Russell. You've gone to all sorts of lengths to have new
If someone comes to me with a feather, they'll cop for it from me. I'll just be off on my bike.
Now. If you're in the room with a feather duster having sex with it...
Yeah, unless you're Ken Dodd, in which case you'd say it's a rehearsal. but yeah, no, that's out of order. Yeah, you're right. It shouldn't be illegal. That's an infringement on human rights. Hold on, I've just received a text message. Jolene sounds like she needs a good pinning from Callum in Farnborough. Pinning's becoming a fad. What if it gets in there? Don't give each other blood diseases, everyone. Come on.
Exactly.
Even I'm celibate now. I've stopped it. So come on, let's all grow up a little bit.
Russell, I suppose one thing that brought you to celibacy was the fact that you tried everything and found that it left you feeling, I don't know, empty, shallow,
saucy.
Not good about yourself, or what?
No, you just sometimes you sort of think, right, I might have to move on. I've been doing this for ages. Do you know what I mean?
But I hope you're not going to move on to the next addiction, because that's obviously when someone's healing from one addiction, then they often find the next one.
Well, I don't know, Pam. You might find me around green cycle shops just browsing an awful lot.
Listen, get on the bike and use it and get some exercise, Russell. Come on.
Pam,
beef yourself up a bit.
Pam, you've given us some fabulous sexy advice. Why don't you, if you're in a bookshop, buy my bookie book or Chris Moyles' lovely book? Why not go over to Pam's foreplay book?
Just
stroke the spine of her cover, leaf through a book, then go and actually finish on me or Chris Moyles' book. That's the spirit.
Listen, Russell, I've read about your book in The Guardian already. Do I need to buy it?
Yeah, God, there's loads more brilliant bits in it. It's an excellent book.
Okay, because I enjoyed the Guardian article.
Thank you very much. You know me, I'm a top writer. Now, time for Pam to stop talking now on a new item called Ta-da, Pam, you sexpert. It's lovely talking to you, darling.
Brand.
See you later, my love. That was bye, darling. Bye. Nice bit of foreplay with Pam there. What was your face? You did some funny faces while Pam was on the blower.
That's old school foreplay, feathers and stuff.
I know, for me, unless no one ever says anything about sex, you think, oh yeah, that sounds like love.
Fluffy handcuffs, that's...
Well, actually, thinking about it, we've thought some good ideas. Like you once said, lay on your stomach and things like that. And then when I first learned about the world of spitting, that to me was a real breakthrough. Well, it was, in an adult sexual relationship.
What's your new fetish? Wearing clothes that go together.
I'm going to wear an astronaut helmet and stilettos tomorrow. I like dressing up I'm like one of those books where it's like an acrobat at the bottom and then a ballroom dancer in the middle and a gorilla's head.
How do people become sexperts?
I know, it just must be reading.
Start talking like that.
Yeah, just talking a bit more than it. I mean, she seemed like a lovely lady, Pam. Well, thank you, ma'am. But someone like McKenna. McKenna's over in this country. We should trouble him, Paul McKenna. Let's ask him about something.
If he had to have sex with an inanimate object, what he'd have.
Yeah, he'd love that.
He likes monkeys.
Yeah, we've already confirmed that Paul McKenna likes a bit of monkey magic. All right, let's listen to a record. What are we going to do, this new White Stripes thing?
Yeah, do you want to listen to that?
Yeah, we'll listen to that. Then let's ring up Nolan!
Yeah, you've got to speak to Noel.
Yeah, because I spoke to Fraser. I miss him a bit sometimes, don't you? It's nice. He's been at Abbey Road recording what he'd call a record, what the rest of us would call a rehash, all this week. So let's give Gallagher a ring. But before that, let's listen to the White Stripe. That was Conquest, the White Stripes. Hope everything's okay with Noel Gallagher. We just gave him a call, but everything's all right, mate. OK, so what we'll actually probably do is try and get Paul McKenna on the phone. He's over in this country at the moment, and we'll talk to him about inanimate sexiness. Pin! Oh, right, here's an email. It's about something. Who can possibly know? I've not read it yet. It's from Mark Cohen. I was walking the dog the other day, he says, and I found a computer USB flash drive in the road. Matt, what does that mean?
It's a little removable... You know those little removable sticks you put into the USB?
Yeah, little thing, innit? It had obviously been run over, so I was going to leave it like it was an hedgehog. But my wife said, pick it up. It might contain details of a crime. How childish of them to say that. It might
though. I'd have thought that exact thing.
Oh, well, that's why they threw it out the window, because it might contain details of a crime.
Well, no, I just think someone's dropped that and I'll look at it and there'll be information on it.
She's nodding as well. You two suspicious little Enid Blyton famous 5 boffins. I'd have just stomped it under my foot like a fag.
You're not very modern, are you? So if it was an old wax disc or something, I played that back at home.
Hello, this parchment might have evidence for my next case. Watson, come over here and bring the opium. Yes, I picked it up anyway on the off chance that it might still work despite being squashed. I've just plugged it into my PC, says Mark Cohen, and it works. It contains one file, a letter to a school, and this is what it says. Dear
Look at that before you read it.
No way, Nick said it was okay, Nick, the producer. Nick, yeah, you're sensible. Well done, Matthew. Dear Miss I. Carousel, I sincerely apologise for offending your staff, pupils and parents on Wednesday the 10th of October by having my trousers down by walking by your school. I would like you to know that I did not mean any harm and to understand that it was just a stupid joke between me and my friend that went very wrong. I sometimes go past your school on the way to Ashlands and nothing like this has happened before. I've never pulled my trousers down when walking past your school before. That's true, well done. I shall not go by your school now, and I assure you this won't happen again. Yours sincerely, Charlie Constantino. Oh, poor old Charlie. Well, too late, I just have. Charlie, oh no, I think it says Charlie Matthews.
Don't put my name on it.
I couldn't help it, I just thought perverts, that was the first thing in the file. So my wife was right, it did contain evidence of a crime. Love the show, guys, enjoyed Ponderland too. Thanks, that's from Mark and Charlie. Hold on a minute, they're in cahoots. Oh no, his wife's also called Charlie.
No, his name's Mark, and he's going, oh, and Charlie.
It's a joke, sorry. Yeah. I thought that they was, you know.
I thought you'd rumbled it.
I thought I rumbled the old caper, Matt. I thought we got to the bottom of that. That's pretty funny. Quick, sharpish. It is quite funny.
What was going on there? How did he get caught?
Well, he obviously was walking past his trousers down past the school. What an idiot. It's as if, like, that's not a good joke.
The police must have got him and then, like, said, oh, did you do that? And he'd gone, yeah, it was a joke. And they said, well, you've got to say sorry. And then we'll check that you have written that letter.
We'll check that you have written that letter. That's not how the police works. Do you know what happened? I don't know what goes on.
I broke a window once and had to go round and apologise to the owners of the shop.
Yeah, it's because it's an Indian restaurant, you big, mad, racist loony.
Yeah. I was giving someone a piggy... I've told this story before.
I know, and I think we all agreed that you just needed a little stretch in prison. Now, Matthew, guess what happened? I went on some radio show the other day, right? I think it was Talk Sport or something like that. And I was promoting my bookie book. Why wouldn't I? And someone sent an email and goes, I've got Russell Brand's diary. I found it in my flat in Holloway in London. It's got all bits of details about stand-up. Does he want it back? He phoned up the radio show.
That's when you lost that book.
What book?
It's your stand-up book. We got out of a cab. You were doing a gig. Do you remember years ago?
Yeah.
It was in Highbury in Islington.
Yeah.
That's what that book is.
Hey, can I have that back? I've forgotten Nick at my agency here as well. Where's the details of it? And also, Matt's worried. He thinks that the council should get involved in just picking up his bins more regularly. That is that, isn't
it? Because you were going to do a gig and then you lost your Bob Monkhouse style
book of gags.
Didn't have many gags.
No, it'd be useless to anyone else, wouldn't it? Or indeed me. It was just the rantings of a...
I've often wondered where that book went.
Well, someone's found it. Give us it back. I want that back. I can't remember his name or anything. We gave it to Nick. He won't remember any of it. Or my new assistant, little James, he's only 20 and he's lovely. You've met him now, haven't you, Matt? And he's little diamond.
Yeah.
What I like is that he's just a lad and you just go in, James, what's going on? And you go, all right, mate. Oh.
Is there anything he, can't cope with?
Life. But other than that, he's brilliant. Yeah, so we want to get that diary back, so I must remember to do that. Nick's looking at me and nodding and putting his thumb up and stuff in the vague way that he manages my career. So there we go. So everything's all right. No, he's a brilliant manager, only mucking around. Right, so what have we got to do? Play a record or something?
No, carry on talking.
Oh, brilliant, yeah. This is going to change the world, this rabbit. So, all right, hold on. Let's just take one of these emails, for example. What do you want to hear? Sexy Mice or Bear Steals Car? It's up to you.
Bear Steals Car.
Oh, jingles contest. Let's listen to a quick jingle, see if that's so good. OK, first up on the jingle contest. Hold on, let's see. This one is, let's just say a number between 21 and 7. Come on, why do you take such time? You're a nervous wreck.
13.
I would like to play bingo with you. Oh, two fat ladies. Oh, why are they so fat? Oh, they should go and have a check-up. You're a nervous
think
wreck.
about it.
Right, well, which one did you say, 13?
Because I was looking at the list instead of,
Trying to trust your instincts. Always trust your instincts, Danielson.
13.
Right, this is a little jingle by Tom Robinson. Right, let's hear your jingle. Matt, it's on that screen.
Okay,
You're in
right,
charge of it. Graham, a professional's just started in here. Are you all right? Are you OK in charge of the desk there, mate? Or is it bothering you because you've got a brace now? I've got a brace now, I can scarcely move. I can't eat in a restaurant because I'm at Morgan and I've got a brace. I can't eat in a restaurant, I feel too embarrassed.
I can't eat in a restaurant unless it's soup, and then I clean my teeth straight away afterwards. I'm glad it amuses you.
Why don't you get a toothbrush, carry around everywhere in your top pocket?
That's what I've got to now.
Have you?
Yeah.
Where is it now, then?
Well, I've eaten today, so I don't need to eat.
Oh, you're such a wreck. What about the other day when he goes, my eye's gone pink? Why's your eye gone pink for? Is it still pink?
No, well, look at them.
Lovely, aren't they? Look at those
White
peepers. Oh, you're a handsome boy. Come on in, jingle number 13.
Okay, ready?
Come on in, you hypochondriac.
There were 3 of us in this marriage.
Russell.
Mr. G with a double E.
88 to 91 Radio 2 from the BBC.
I liked it, except that last voice freaked me out. That bit, I liked it up until it went, radio time for another. It went a bit deafy. Didn't like that bit. Or like a deaf robot or something. I didn't like it. Not that I'm saying I've got a problem with deaf robots.
That's all right.
All right, no, but I liked it when 3 of us.
Give us a number then.
Right, here's a number. G, you say a number.
17.
Well, what's wrong with you, nervous wrecks? They won't say numbers. Oh, God, it's not a lotto. 17. G.
Really?
Edwards. Corruption. Gay! Oh, that's good.
That's a
We can
jingle
use that
for
for
gay.
gay. Brilliant. Specific. Well done.
Another one?
Yep, that's from G. Edwards, that one. And I think we'll use... Hold on, there might be something about gay. That's right. Play that jingle again, the gay one, by G. Edwards.
Russell's regular item.
Gay! Hello, time for my regular item gay now. This is from James Benton in Essex. It sounds really professional, doesn't it? Dear Russell, Matt and G and Mr Nibs, I suppose, that little idiot. I'm 18 years old in my last year of school. I didn't think I was gay. I'd had a few relationships with girls across my early teens. Across them? How's that? It's like his early teens was an expanse and he had a relationship across a girl like a navigator. But over the past year, why is he looking down at his life like a shaman? He's amazing, this character. I found myself more and more interested in my best friend. Well, you know, try living my life, the pink-eyed idiot that he is. It's a story that has just been read out before on the show. I know, but it's getting hard for me to take now. It's not just a crush, it's love. Oh, you poor thing. And I feel like it's becoming an obsession. I can't tell my friend because he's straight, but I desperately want him to know how I feel. It's making... What?
Because he's a bike.
Just, you know, just see how it goes. Go for a little gentle ride round a park and then perhaps a cycling holiday across Europe. See how it... I desperately want him to know how I feel. It's making my last year of school unbearable. Help.
Aww.
Oh, darling. Well...
Russell's regular item.
Gay! Well, we've thought about it, James. It's just 1 or 2 tips they've come up with. Listen, mate, you'll find someone. It's probably just because of the proximity to your best friend. You feel like you love him, and probably you do, but it might not necessarily be a sexual love. It's just because it's a new, burgeoning sexuality, and it's quite natural that that affection would attach itself to that which is parochial and local to you, but that might not necessarily mean... This is actually bloody good advice I'm giving you. That might necessarily
Yeah, but he's
mean
going to
you
need a
fancy him.
thesaurus to get through it.
Of course he will, but he's bright as a button, this lad. He's the new Quentin Crisp, I'm sure of that much. You get yourself up here, James Benton, and we'll fix you out of all sorts of imagine big father figure gay lad, a big bear, big brusque fella, big airy like Pluto.
Hang on, he might just be confused. You'll put him in some disgusting club with amyl nitrate up his nose.
Right, son, go on, do a line of that now. Oi, Pluto. It's disgusting. Listen, it don't matter. He's only going to have it off with one gay bloke, see if he likes it.
It's his mate.
Yeah, but
That's what he's
I
worried
was just
about.
in love with one person.
Oh, right, sorry, okay.
Yeah, but I was saying, have it off with another gay bloke, see if you
No,
like
'cause
that.
he's in love.
Yeah, but he's not experienced proper gay culture yet. He might fall in love. Imagine he meets some real
No,
up-to-date,
but the thing
cool
is,
gay
he's in love
geezer.
with that particular bloke, so he
I
doesn't want to
don't-
go and do
Yeah, but
anything
remember
else.
my brilliant advice. I'm saying that might just because that person's local to him, so he's attaching feelings of love to that person, you know. But if he meets an array of new, brilliant gay men, he might think, oh, actually, I love them much more. Look at 'em.
If it was me, I'd try and broach the subject with him a bit and go, oh, gays, eh?
Yeah, but you do that with me quite a lot. Oh, do you reckon you'll ever do anything gay, Russell? You
I'm
ask me.
always trying to make you admit you're gay.
Well, I'm not gay.
Oh, listen to it.
Arc at him. Or maybe I am.
Russell's regular item.
Gay! I hope that was helpful, James. It turns out I'm gay now. So come up here, I'll sort you right out, son. Yeah, just give it a little bit of time. I think heed the advice of Jeremy Vine, because he's much more sensible than us. He's got children, takes them to cinemas, worries about stuff. So I reckon just take it easy a little bit, sunshine. Think about your feelings a little bit. Give it a bit of time. There's no rushes there. Don't be embarrassed anyway. Everything's going to be all right. You sound like a beautiful, clever little fella to me. So that was my new item, gay. Gay, I mean. Right, now time for another number to be named. Matt, think of a number.
16.
16. OK, that's just because you're attracted to 16-year-old lads because of the last item. Gay. Right, now time for a jingle by Sandy Bodyford. Sandy.
Listen to what Russell Brand knows. Saturday nights on the Russell Brand Show with Matt Morgan and Mr. G on Radio 2. It's the BBC. Nighttime from 9 to 11. It's a 2-hour block of radio heaven.
Oh, Sandy, that's touching and lovely. Think of her in a room somewhere singing our names. That's moving. I like it. What's your problem, Morgan?
Sounds like a protest song.
Yeah, it's probably a protest against that kind of ignorance that's put people who love their bikes in
That's
jail.
nice. It's
Lovely,
properly
wasn't
musical.
it? Right, I'll name the next one. Robert Penny, number 18, Matt. Let's have a listen to this jingle. Go on. Oh, wow, this is brilliant.
Got some interesting facts.
Sounds horrible.
Got some interesting facts.
Facts by Matt Morgan. This is new item. Sampling a Morrissey song for interesting. That's the new. Have you got right? Do an interesting
Pay
fact.
money to Morrissey then.
Don't worry about that. Morrissey will be all right. He's my mate. I love you, Morrissey. Go on, Matthew. Do an interesting fact because the jingle's just played.
What?
Well, your
I can't
jingle's just
respond
played.
under that
Do a
sort of
fact.
pressure.
Yes, you can. Hold on. There'll be a fact in one of these emails. Here's one.
Right.
This is our new item. Interesting facts. Do your jingle. Do your jingle. Oh God. Come on.
Goes on for about a month. Got some interesting facts. Got some interesting facts.
That's you.
Got some interesting facts.
Facts by Matt Morgan. This is new item. Go on then. Do it professionally like when you come out.
Wait for that to finish.
Oh,
you ruined
you
it.
idiot.
Just waiting for that to finish, and I was going, hello, I'm Matt Morgan.
God.
You were talking over it.
All right. Go on.
Hello, I'm Matt Morgan. Just emailing because I thought you ought to know about the world's newest and most exciting resurrection, Jellyfish Jesus.
This is an interesting fact. What's going on, Matt?
Right, my friend is avidly religious and as a result is a member of the local evangelical church, and yesterday handed me a leaflet advertising the visit to her church of Ian McCormack. McCormack, according to the leaflet, was stung 5 times by the deadly box jellyfish. He clung to life whilst travelling to hospital, but unfortunately was declared clinically dead on arrival. 20 minutes or so later, as his friends and family mourned over his body, McCormack came back to life and therefore became Jellyfish Jesus.
There we go. There's an interesting fact for you there on Matt's new item. Interesting fact.
Got some interesting facts.
Well, there we are.
That short.
Yeah,
It
'cause
actually
otherwise
works
it
rather
was-
well like that.
Did actually.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of scope. Well done there.
Yeah,
That's
they-
Robert Penny.
They
You've
can't
done
be
well.
claiming he's called Jellyfish Jesus.
Yeah, not really. I mean, Jesus did all them other miracles, plus he set down a whole theology and philosophy that has stood the test of time. All this bloke's done is been stabbed by a jellyfish.
Stung.
What about Pimpinnery? That's a new cult that's sweeping the nation, and I, for one, support this fiasco.
We'll get in trouble. Do you remember when Tango got in trouble for people slapping each
Slapping.
other on the ears? And
Yeah,
happy
the first
slapping?
person who gets a blood disease because of our pimpinnery, we'll have to go, oh, that was stupid, sorry. So don't pin each other.
Don't pin people with pins. Just say pin and poke them with your finger.
It doesn't, not as good though, is it?
Well, have you ever had a pin jabbed in you?
Yes.
You like it? Actually, you do. You go there every week and have that ridiculous therapy.
Yeah, I love it.
What's it called?
Pin!
Acupuncture.
Yeah, but I'd make her say pin before every pin. Pin! She
What
says.
does she treat? Your melancholy.
Found myself love late laying low with a malady. If you could pin me, it might cheer my spirits. Why is Paul McKenna? Is Paul McKenna not answering his phone either, Nick? That's not an interesting fact that Paul McKenna's not answering his phone, you idiot. Matthew, you're out of control,
I'm trying to
mate.
line up the next one.
Here's a new item by me. Hold on, right, do a jingle and hopefully it'll be good for this item I'm doing.
Right, hang on.
It's about sexy mice, I think. Right, it's Ollie Sindon, number 11.
Oh, 11.
Yeah, why not 11? Goes up to 11, all
Here we
that.
go.
Yes, it's time for Russell Brand, Radio MCG, and right on brand. It's
Very ethereal, hello, that's my new jingle for my item, Sexy Mice. Hello, Russell, Matt and G, says Phoebe from Devon. I heard on the 6 o'clock news that scientists in a lab in America have created a genetically modified super mouse that has extraordinary athletic prowess. It's fairly impressive. Another quality they've weaved into its DNA is the ability to retain a rigorous sexual appetite well into old age. The scientists claim that this is a magnificent medical breakthrough. After working in the lab all day with nothing but a company of chemicals, one can wonder why they treated these little mice in this sexy way. What perverts. Well, OK, Phoebe, you're right. Yeah, what's the point in turning on mice all day as a job?
Because if you can do it to a mouse, you can do it to a man.
Yeah, but Charlie Chaplin, he was well turned on until he was really old. That's why he walked so daft. And he was old. Well, he was having it off well into these late... Men get turned on all their lives, aren't they? It's not like you're not going through life going...
Yeah, but imagine that...
Why aren't men more turned
Yeah, but
on?
it might be even worse. It might be like some sort of Tom Jones figure, but even more angry.
I don't want randy old men troubling me, do you?
Why would they trouble you? You're such a big head.
Because look at me in my lovely Moroccan costume.
Moroccan costume's all ripped under one armpit. It's
Because of me
disgusting.
punching
Hairs.
the air in
Nothing
triumph.
more foul than hairs coming through cloth.
Yes, there is. A man having sex with a bike while being pin-pinned from behind by a sexy mouse.
No.
That'd be alright, wouldn't it?
Never going to happen.
Never going to happen. Bear steals car. Police in New Jersey say a black bear is suspected of stealing people's cars. Well, that's racist for a kick-off. It could have been any type of bear. This is from Johan. He says, Officer David Diehard, that's a made-up name, that's influenced by the film Die Hard, found the vehicle by the side of the road in the Vernon
David
Township.
Diehard?
David Diehard. That's ridiculous.
And Christopher Total Recall.
Their boss, Peter Mission Impossible, said you've got 48 hours to solve this case. Police spokesperson, Detective Sergeant Terminator said, he said it was a bear because of all the bear hair inside.
Oh.
Bear hair. Imagine having a load of bear hair in a sandwich. Hey, judging from the bear hair, there's been a bear hair. Everything you say sounds the same. Police say the bear was probably attracted by sweets left inside the car. We've had animals break into our house, said Dr. Talk, but this is the first time we've ever had an animal take a car like this. Well, there you
Hang
go.
on, take a car?
Can't have took it, can it? How can a bear get in a car? Just wants a lolly and then all of a sudden it's
He's driving off
cruising
in
down
it,
the
like
highway.
Toad Hall.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous accusation to make. OK, well, now, why haven't none of you made a jingle for Mr. G's poem? And make your jingles a bit shorter for a start.
A
Don't
bit
you
more
think?
punchy, less
Punchy, less ethereal.
It's because of you doing your stupid When I'm 64.
Yeah, I know. I've really influenced
made them all-
culture with that. In a way, I've started a movement, haven't I, with When I'm 64. People, when documentaries are made in the future about 2010 and the sort of music that was around the beginning of this millennium, I say, well, of course, Russell Brand's seismic watershed moment, when I'm breathing a song out. That, oh, here we go. Yeah, there.
Let's just pause a moment and consider.
Then a moon. When I get older,
Healthy?
she's a real person.
Yeah, but she doesn't say Alfie. That's the character.
Yeah, that's true. We can.
Will you still be
What were you
standing
thinking? I'll never get over it.
Valentine birthday?
How can Alison Boshoff have a go at the man who sings this song?
Of one. If I've been out till 2:45, would you
Why'd you say
lock the door? Will you still need me? Will
Yeah,
you
Paul McCartney
still
did this, it finished
feed
him off.
me?
Going for enough aggro,
When
poor sod.
I'm 64.
I always think it should go like that.
Probably put his divorce
You
in
should go quick
perspective,
now.
actually.
Ding, 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 ding.
So I'm not so bothered about my missus doing over my legacy now that I've heard Brand diddling with when I'm 64. All right, turn it off now. That's for you, Nana Moons. And that, you know, sorry about that. God bless you and that. Now, G, we'll do a poem now. Do us a punchy jingle, a bit more punchy. Listen to other if you're going to listen to another radio show, try old Chris Moyles, or perhaps read one of his brilliant books, or send him an email. What are you shaking your head at me for?
Been all over him.
So
all
what if I
through
make
this
a
show.
friend in showbiz? So what? What's so wrong? All I've got is you and a
You're
cat.
promoting his books.
Good. Get mine first, though, and half good. Right, now time for the Poet Laureate of the show. Why? It's Mr. G. Still finishing his homework on his way here. Mr. G, yeah. All right, Matt. Half five.
Okay. This poem is called The Truth. If truth be told, sometimes we put the truth on hold to enter a magical realm which we can truly mold. So could you be bold to bike ride and lose control? If a sports racer delivers your paper, surely a penny farthing is irrefutably gold. Or platinum. Witness the madness when a presenter and his co-host simply don't know what's happening. Captivated by the mirror, enraged by the mail, cajoling poor Jolene, singing builders are sent to jail. So get a hold of the truth, here's what you should do. The jellyfish Jesus is coming, we're ready, are you?
Woo! Pin, 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 pin. Well done, we're live.
Pin him for the mistake.
You did a mistake. Pin, pin, Mr. G. It's the only way you'll learn. Pin, pin. He's been pin-pinneried. Pin-pinnery, pin-pinnery, pin-pin-peroo. Right, okay, this programme's nearly over. We've got a couple of minutes, haven't we? You right, Matt?
Yeah. I'm not
Right,
so
what have we
bad.
got to do? We'll just round up the show. Thanks, Jeremy Vine, for coming on. It's lovely to him. Jeremy Vine, imagine him now, he's all tucked up with his missus. The kids
So
are
his
sound
brother?
asleep. Tim Vine is Jeremy Vine's brother. Isn't that the
didn't
most
know that.
ridiculous fact in the world? Yeah, it's odd, isn't
Oh,
it?
really?
Yeah, honestly, it's true. Look, Nick produces his show as well.
everyone's nodding.
Probably with more care than he does our show. Look at him sat out there drunk, high on his own supplies, doesn't ever sleep because he's too big. Paul McKenna's, listen to this message, Paul McKenna's phone is turned off. Probably because he's in London Zoo troubling a primate of some description. Thank you for everyone who's participated in that show, that sexpert person. Remember Alison Boshoff or Bolshoff or Noshoff? Boshoff, and Alison Boshoff
Boshoff.
at the Daily Mail. Yep, trouble her for troubling my mum. But, you know, do it in a nice way because we are spiritual people on the way to a revolution. But she must be brought the truth. Pin, pin! If you do pin, pin, do it carefully with a sterilised pin. And don't do it at all. Matthew, why are you looking at me like that?
I was just wondering about what thing you'd have sex with. Inanimate object.
What, inanimate object? Well, I did that vac once, didn't I, as a younger man? Why, what would you have?
Yeah, that's that's worse than the bike.
Why?
You should go to prison.
No, I shouldn't. I was only young. If anything, the Hoover should go to prison. Henry Hoover's an adult. I was a minor at that stage.
Really?
Dirty devil he was, Henry. I couldn't help it, though, when I looked at his little face. Yeah. How can I stay mad at you? What about you? What would you have?
I don't know, grandfather clock or a spiral staircase.
Grandfather clock's really masculine, and a spiral staircase, that's like a weird psycho
Or a
thing to do.
drawbridge.
A drawbridge, I'd have, of all the inanimate objects in the world, I wouldn't mind the Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
What?
egotist.
Or a Statue of Liberty, I'll do that. Or Big
Why don't
Ben.
you do a world tour?
Going around doing landmark, I'll do the pyramids. And the Aztecs, I'll go around, have them all the wonders of the world. Go
No
around.
respect for the wonders of the world.
Coming in, you wonders, I'll give you a wonder, make up for that. And to finish off inanimate objects, I'll do old Alison Noshoff Boshoff. She's an inanimate object. Remember to trouble her. So, yeah, thanks everyone. Hope Noel Gallagher's all right. Paul McKenna, we send him a little bit of love. Mr. G, well done on your poem. Matt Morgan, try not to get ill for a week. Next week, I think we're in Dublin, aren't we, next week? I don't know if we're doing the show live from there. Might have to be a pre-record. We're under a lot of pressure promoting the old bookie book. And, oh yeah, send Chris Moore some emails. Tell him how nice we've been. And, is there anything else? China! Get right out of Tibet. Get the hell out of there. You've got no business being in Tibet. You've got a bloody great big country of your own. Tibet's country's only a little one. Come on, give them a chance. And I think that's about it. It's probably time. Oh, no, let's wait. It's not actual time for some newsy poos yet. Keep sending your jingles. More specific, punchier,
It is time for
bloody
news.
jingles. Oh, it is time for news.
I'm
doing all
loving this feeling. It's
no, hold on.
brilliant.
This is not
I mean,
feeling
the whole
that.
Tibet thing.
Yeah, do you remember
Where
that?
did that come from?
Well, sometimes I hear a voice inside me. A lot of great artists, Matt, talk about a river. Happy birthday, Peter Cook. Well done, Israel. Good luck, England, on Wednesday. Dun, 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 dun. This is BBC Radio 2, online, on digital, on 88 and 91 FM. Here is the news.